Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about if a woman is not interested. So if a woman is not interested in you, let's say you've asked her out and she's friend zoned you, or maybe you poured your heart out to her and she didn't reciprocate, she rejected you in some way, there isn't really much you can do about that. And to feel and to think and to feel like you can change things and to make her more interested in you since she's rejected you is going to be a bit of a difficult journey. Now, it's not an impossible journey. You can get a woman to change her mind about you, but usually it's a very, very difficult path and usually not worth it, because even though her feelings may change in the future, there's no way of knowing for sure that that's going to happen. And in my opinion, doing that is a bit of a waste of time. Now, of course, there are things that you can do and display to get her to be more interested in you, like, changing certain aspects of yourself, becoming more confident, sort of not paying as much attention to her as you was doing. So let's say, for example, you were working together and now you sort of stay back a little bit more and you just sort of treat her as an acquaintance. You're not necessarily sulking in the corner whenever she's around you, but you're not being overly enthusiastic when she's around you either, and you're just sort of treating her very neutrally and acting as if you don't care and just becoming more stronger. Perhaps you change up your appearance, perhaps you try to make her jealous by dating someone else, something like that. And those things could potentially work, okay? But again, it's going to be there's no guarantee, right, that is going to work. So usually it's just best to just let her go. It's best to just if she's not interested, it's just best to just move on to the next woman, and that would make your life it's just so much easier essentially, okay? Because even if you do change her mind about you, there's still no guarantee that when you get together it's going to work out as well. So it's better to focus then on those women that are enthusiastic about you. And I talk about this all the time, but it's just so it's so simple and it's so effective. If you just solely focus on women who are enthusiastic about you, who don't reject you, who don't friend zone you, and simply focus your attention on women who are interested in you, then it's a lot easier for you. Now, of course, you also have to be interested in them. I'm not saying that you should settle just for a woman that likes you and you're not really that into her. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying you should settle for someone you don't fancy or find attractive or like, okay? But what I am saying, though, is this. You can have your cake and eat it too, okay? You can find a woman who thinks you're the bee's knees and you feel exactly the same way about her, but you have to be actively trying to find her, okay? And what I mean by that is I don't think you should, make women your main focus and make dating your main focus. Your main focus in life should be to just, to focus on your calling in life, focus on the thing that matters most to you in this life, which is usually, for a man, his calling, which might be a career, or it could be a hobby or a skill, something that he's trying to develop, or it could, just something that he really enjoys and really loves. That should be your main focus and attention. But you should obviously still keep your dating apps and still be, doing that in the background as a side hustle, basically a side quest, right? Women should be a side quest. They shouldn't be your main quest in this life. They should be the cherry on the cake, not the whole cake. Because if you put all of your attention and all of your focus on a woman and you make the woman that you like your life and make her the cake, basically, then what you'll find is that if things go sideways with that woman, what will happen is that your life will just crumble because you've built your whole life around that one woman, okay? So it's better then to just see women as a side quest. Even your wife, when you get married, is just a side quest. Your main quest should be your calling, the thing that you're most passionate about, okay? So finding women then it can be a tricky thing to do depending on the area. There's a whole lot of factors that depend on this, okay? It could be the area that you live in is quite quiet and there's not enough people moving in and moving out. It could be there's other sort of things going on. Perhaps there's not many job opportunities where you live, so that again, there's not many women coming into that environment, coming into that area, and just simply not around. So it could be that someone like that may have to go on more dates, or it could be that for whatever reason you don't have the confidence yet, so perhaps you put women off more, even if they may have liked you. There's a lot of different factors that could be involved here. So, but usually it's the same rule still applies. Okay, the more women you meet, the more women you go out on a date with, the more likely it is that you'll find a woman who you really like and she really likes you as well. It's simply a mathematical certainty. It's the law of probability in action. The more repetitions, the more women you meet, the more women you talk to, the more women you date and interact with, the more likely it is that you're going to find a woman who you really like and you really like as well. It's a mathematical certainty. So you will find a girlfriend. It's certain. If you go by that rule, if you go by that playbook. Now, when I say that kind of thing, the most complaints that I get is from guys who are saying, I can't afford to buy a woman, that many women dinner. It's like, you don't have to buy a woman dinner. Again, I talk about this all the time, but it goes without saying that, you should, if on your first date with a woman, go and do something inexpensive. When I first met my wife, we just went out for a walk and just went around this local park, and we just did laps around the park as we got to know each other and talk to each other. You don't have to lock yourself into dinner. Now, the reason why I did that was because if I didn't like her, then I could easily leave after half an hour. And if I did like her, we could, just continue to do laps around the park and keep on talking. So if you do something inexpensive like that, it's easy to walk away if you feel like you two are not driving, the vibe's not right, you're not vibing. Okay, so you don't have to do anything expensive. Now, if you do end up liking her, then maybe you might have to go out for dinner, at some point, because that's quite the formal date. But at least then you know that you like her and she likes you, and you're not wasting your time or your money because you're actually, with someone who you really like, and you know that they like you as well. So that's what you got to focus on. Okay, so you don't fool yourself into thinking that you need to buy dinner every single time you go out on a date with a woman. You do not. And if they insist, and they keep on insisting that the first date be a dinner date, then it's probably that woman is more likely a user and she's not interested in getting to know you. Because your justification will be like, well, you know what, I just really want to get to know you. And sometimes I think it's hard to get to know someone in a restaurant. This would be way easier if we just, met out for a walk and just walked around the city, walked around the park, or, I guess it could be that some women are a bit unsure and a bit afraid to meet a strange man at a park who they've never met before. If you're talking to a woman on a dating app, but then suggest going at a time when there's going to be a lot of people there. Go like on a weekend where there's going to be a lot of people out with their kids and stuff like that, so she feels more comfortable. Okay, and yeah, just get to know each other that way. And it is a lot easier to actually go out on a walk with someone and get to know them that way, because people just tend to open up and talk more when they're out on walks. It's a good way to clear your own head, and I personally like doing it. It's a good way. I like going for a walk just to clear my head. It's a good method to do that, and it's just a really good way to get people to open up and talk. I think it's one of the best ways you can do it. At a dinner date, people can still be a little bit more reserved, but people do tend to open up more on walks. So find women that are interested in you. If a woman is displaying lack of interest in you, let's say it takes her ages and ages and ages to respond to messages. Let's say it takes her days to respond to messages, or she's hot and cold. Like sometimes she wants to see you, other times you don't see her for like weeks and weeks and weeks. If she flat out rejects you or friend zones you, don't spend time with her anymore. Focus on women that are enthusiastic about you, who, when you ask them on a date, they say yes, they show up to that date, right? They're not flaking on you, they're not talking about let's be friends, and they really want to see you, and you can just tell by the way that she talks to you that she's just really desperate and really wants to see you, Okay, those are the women that you should be focusing on. And if you only do that, you will eliminate 99% of your problems with women. The only problem that you may face is if you start dating a woman who does like you and she ends up losing interest. But again, the same rule applies. If she loses interest, just treat her the same way that you do with the women that have lost interest in you in the past, or who weren't interested in you in the past. You just move on and you find someone else. You just move on and you date a different woman. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com and pick whichever coaching options is best for you at this current time. And you can also on the website read the book Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. You don't need to log into the website. You don't need to sign up for anything. It's simply there on the website. Just go to the menu on the website, click on the book, and you can just read it there for free. It'll just take you straight to the PDF reader. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.